Do you want some free COD points?
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope you're all having an amazing day so far. I know I am myself, but if you're getting a bit mad at Call of Duty, just take a step back, just watch until the end of this video. Whatever made you actually come here in the first place, I'm guessing you want De-Atomizer strikes within Infinite Warfare. It's the best or biggest booming kill streak, score streak, or whatever you want to call it that you call in to obliterate the enemy team in Infinite Warfare. I'm going to be giving you guys the easiest possible way, tip-wise, on how to do this. By all means, it's not easy, but I find it one of the easier secret score streaks in the bomb format, like the Nuke, the Moab, the DNA bomb, to actually obtain out of any Call of Duty ever, and that includes the Modern Warfare 2 Nuke, which you could actually use kill streaks towards in order to obtain, and it was a selectable kill streak. So if you're going to enjoy today's video, make sure you slap a like on the video down below and subscribe to the channel if you're new for the latest and greatest Infinite Warfare tips, news, information. I've said it in a lot of other videos as well, but this year in 2017 or late 2016, whenever you're watching, I'm going to be a hub for Infinite Warfare content, whatever that may be, news, leaks, tips and tricks, you name it. And I promise you guys, if you subscribe right now, if you're new, you will not be disappointed with the content I'll be pumping out for you guys this year. So the first thing I want to tell you guys, tip-wise, is very important in terms of actually going about to get a De-Atomizer strike in the first place. As you guys may or may not know, there are only 6 legendary variants in the game currently, when I'm playing the beta towards the end, where the level cap is 35, that you can get a De-Atomizer strike with, one of which being the MV4 legendary variant that I've got in the gameplay in the background. There is another legendary variant, but as you guys know, you can see the nuke symbol on the actual weapon variant of what gun attachment it has on, and that's the De-Atomizer strike right there. What I recommend, so you can certify you're going to get a variant and not rely on supply drops and the look of that awful system, because I really don't like supply drops myself, you want to be playing as the JTF Wolverines. And the reason you want to be doing this is because when you level up JTF Wolverines team or kind of operation system within the game, as there are different teams or operation systems that you guys will be able to change through, start off with JTF Wolverines, get to level 23 within that operation group, and you get yourself unlocked for definite a nuke variant for a very good SMG called the FHR-40, which I definitely recommend. The best gun I would recommend to get nukes with is the one I'm using in the gameplay in the background, which is the NV4, but a lot of you guys might not be able to get that, and I know for definite that you cannot get it for definite, like by unlocking it through the JTF Wolverine system in another category or team operation system. So you definitely want to be playing as them to get yourself that nuke variant. The next tips I want to give you guys is about score streaks, or one in particular, just score streak. It depends up to you or what you want to do in terms of actually running the counter UAV, as well as the only UAV that I've got in the background, which is just the regular sweeping radar one, as there is no hater style or orbital VSAT style score streak in this game where you can see the enemies like you would teammates on the radar for a specific amount of time at a constant motion of them just showing up on the radar exactly like teammates. There is none of that, sadly, and the spawns are very random. So what I recommend is not wasting your time on the counter UAV, because it's only going to deter you in actually getting that UAV again, and then I don't really believe at the same time counter UAVs are very necessary on games like Black Ops 3 and Advanced Warfare and any kind of game in Call of Duty where it has a specific movement system equivalent to what it did in Advanced Warfare, or just anything to do with futuristic movement or a futuristic playstyle, because you can scale the map kind of instantly. There's so many rush routes, and you never really know for sure where someone's going to be unless you play on Call of Duty Ghosts and you have the Ghost radar and it says an arrow's pointing above on the radar to show what platform they're on, but we don't have that in these games. So that's why I'm saying that to you guys. You don't know whether there could be war running, you don't know whether there could be in midair, so at the end of the day it doesn't really matter if they see you as much, as long as you know where they are. So that's why I'd recommend the UAV and only the UAV. Now for perks, I recommend if you guys aren't comfortable in terms of actually, you know, being seen, you don't need that counter UAV. You could use Ghost, and then you could also use Recon at the same time. That's basically just like a peripheral vision of the enemies around you, or possible enemies around you. I mean, there's never really going to be enemies around you for definite, but it's a peripheral vision and kind of a pinged radar around you once you've killed an enemy of where other enemies could be. And it's not like any other Ghost in like these newer Call of Duties. It's a constant ghost. You don't have to be moving for it to be active and you staying off the radar. That means it's just a constant off the radar once you're actually running this perk Ghost, which is kind of overpowered. I don't know if they'll actually patch this. I'm guessing they will, because I mean, in these games where they have the new movement system, it's meant for you to move, and I've got the nuclear right there, or the De-Atomizer strike. So the other perks I recommend is pinpoint, so you can see where the enemies are, or see them easier on these maps that have a lot of the same colour kind of going around on them and stuff like that. But also at the same time, I would definitely recommend Scavenger in that second perk tier. If you haven't got Scavenger yet, just work your way up, unlocking all them guns for JTF Wolverines, all them levels up to level 23, so you get the nuke variant for the SMG, which is the FHR-40, and then once you've done that, I'm guessing you're going to be like level 31 anyways, which is when you unlock Scavenger or around that area. So you're going to be fully set up and you're not going to be disappointed going for these nukes in case you run out of ammo, or generally just if you don't have the right setup or the perfect or better setup to actually get in one in a more chance increased rate. Now let's talk about the rigs, or the specialists in Infinite Warfare, whatever you want to say, but I want to imprint this in you guys' heads. This is one of the main points, but not the last point. These are different to the Black Ops 3 specialists. As you guys know, there's a lot of overpowered weapons such as the Claw and the machine guns that I've been using in the first gameplay in the background. Now we're on Terminal, but I think I have the same kind of rig on at the same time, so you really want to be fighting fire with fire if you're not comfortable in terms of your gun skill, because think about it, it could be very useful for you to get yourself out of a situation by maybe even clearing out 4 people at a time by just spraying the Claw and moving around to different enemies of where they're shooting you from and everything like that, because they kill the enemies instantly. These kind of little specialist weapons or rigs or whatever you want to call them, I personally like calling them the Infinite Warfare specialists. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely recommend, if you're not comfortable in terms of your gun accuracy, map knowledge, or just general gun skill in terms of how you would actually outgun enemies, or how many you are confident outgunning at the same time, whether you've got a turn on people or whether you're actually shooting through 2 people like a collateral damage kind of situation, you just want to be running a rig that actually is a weapon, because if you're not confident, it makes sense, it'll get you out of tricky situations. But if you are confident, and for those players who want to improve their gun skill overall, I definitely recommend Combat Focus, because Combat Focus will only let you get your UAV quicker. Yet again, that's not essential, but you are using your gun more, which is increasing that gun skill kind of experience time, and not allowing you to just think, well, I'll get out of this tricky situation easy, overconfident, and then use your specialist, and you might even die, or your rig, or whatever you want to call it. So Combat Focus is something I recommend more in Black Ops 3 to get nuclears, but we're not in Black Ops 3 right now, we're in Infinite Warfare, so the majority of you guys, I'm guessing, came on the video to actually get the best tips possible on how to get a De-Atomizer strike, so I definitely go with a weapon-based rig. But if you are very confident with your gun skill, there's always Combat Focus to get yourself that UAV and possible counter UAV even quicker. The final tips I want to give you guys is about mental attitude towards getting a De-Atomizer strike, which I'll personally just say, just play the game for fun. Don't think you're on a streak, because some people even go to the extent of thinking, oh my god, I'm too off, start sweating, shaking, and can't even hold the controller properly. Don't think like that. If you're too off, then think, yeah, it would be cool if I got this, but it's not life-threatening, I'm not going to die IRL if I don't get this De-Atomizer strike, and I'm only going to improve if the way I die, I actually remember and learn from it. So that's the mental attitude you want to have. Don't think, oh, I'm definitely going to get one, because if you don't, you're stressing yourself out for no reason. It's a game at the end of the day. It's all mind games, Call of Duty. And what I recommend in terms of playstyle, how I've been playing in the gameplay in the background that you guys have been watching, both of them, or however many of them there actually is, because I'm not looking at gameplay when I'm actually recording and commentating right now, you want to be playing as a playstyle type called passive aggressive by myself. I don't know how any other people would refer to it as, but you want to be moving around the map so the people don't have a kind of set coordinate position on you, or a kind of set position of where you're going to be moving to, learning your playstyle. So you want to be unorthodox, you want to be playing passive aggressive, which means moving up to power positions that you can actually note off on the map, but at the same time you want to make yourself unnotable to where you're going to go next to the enemies, if that makes sense. So any head glitches or anything like that could be very useful to you, but at the same time you don't want to make it obviously go in there, because someone could come around the corner with a sniper with the aim assist in Infinite Warfare. It's absolutely awful for us assault rifle players or any players, and you're just going to get the flashing light of death, you're going to see the light of the sniper scope, and you're going to die straight away. But the game modes I recommend for you guys getting a nuke or a De-Atomizer strike in Infinite Warfare is definitely something like Domination or Hardpoint, because they last the longest, or maybe even Capture the Flag, maybe Uplink, but I definitely recommend Domination or Hardpoint, because they can either be predictable in terms of the spawns or objective of where the enemies are going to be, because you can see the objective, or you can see the objective that the enemy has in terms of Domination, because the Hardpoint always switches, so it's not the same. But you guys get the gist of it, it lasts longer, so you have more time to kind of comprehend the fact that, yes, this is running smoothly, yes, I'm going to get a De-Atomizer strike, you don't have to rush yourself in terms of a kill limit like like I'm doing in the gameplay in the background for Team Deathmatch. And that's all I want to discuss with you guys today. If you enjoyed today's tips and tricks video, be sure to smash a like on the video down below. Let's try and go for 100 likes. I know you guys can do it. It would be amazing because we haven't actually got that in a video in ages, but it would be really cool, and I appreciate you guys nonetheless, even if you don't hit. So thank you all for watching again. I'll avoid faces as usual. Peace out.